right, guys, last three problems, and as you can see, the test was really not that hard. We just got to take our time. Obviously, there are going to be one or two problems that are going to challenge us, but if we just slow down, really think about what we're doing, try some of these test-taking strategies, we're going to give our odds for greater success. Now, this is a give me. The following, or the previous question required you to know that two angles equals a 90-degree angle or a complementary angle. And this small little symbol also is representing a right angle. So this is basically telling you that 30 plus the x is equal to 90. And you probably could use an expression or an equation to represent this. X plus 30 equals 90. Okay? And if you were to balance this to get x on one side, you can see that if you take away 30, you have the variable on the left, numbers on the right, you're going to get x equals 60. Most of us could basically just think to ourselves, okay, if this is 30, 30 plus what number is going to equal 90? Or if this is 90 and we take away 30 from 90, we're left with 60. So you can obviously see this is the correct answer. And obviously I want to do the problems first before looking at these possible answers. Now you could plug in this and say, okay, will D work? 60 plus 30? Yeah, that's going to equal 90. 150 plus 30, that's not a 180 angle, 180 degree angle. 90 plus 30 would make it obviously obtuse. 30 and 30, no, that is not a right angle. So you could use that strategy as well. Problem number 19 is going to require you guys to use your scratch paper. Unfortunately, when we move to digital tests, people don't use scratch paper as much. So what I would really recommend doing is actually drawing two triangles. As you can see, they're saying triangle A and B. Now, for the sake of the drawing, are these right triangles? Well, I tried to make them as representative of a right triangle as possible, but that's not the most important thing. What's the most important thing is that we identify the sizes, because we're going to be comparing. As you can see, right triangle has a base of 3 inches. Think of the base as the bottom, B, the bottom, and a height of 5 inches. So as you can see, height, think of vertical, up and down, okay? So this is a base of 3, height of 5. Triangle B has a base of 4, but they don't tell you the height. The height is basically unknown. And so what they're basically asking you, right triangle A is a scale drawing of right triangle B. They are basically scaled representations of one another, but what we need to do is we need to figure out what this number is to make them scale drawings or scale diagrams that are frankly equivalent with regards to scale factor or scale ratio. So if you really think about this, 3 goes into 5 how many times? Well, it goes in one time. What we're trying to do is figure out a relationship between the base and the height so that we can create that same relationship here. 3 goes into 5 one time, and then we have 2 left over. So this is 1 2/3. Okay? And obviously 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2. You can see 5/3. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 3 times 1 2/3, and you're going to see what we get. So 3 over 1 times 5 over 3 equals 15/3. And guess what? That equals 5. So basically what we've done here is we've figured out how much larger 5 is than 3, how much larger the height is from the base, and it's 1 2/3 larger. So what we're going to do now is we're going to multiply the 1 2/3 times the 4, and that'll figure out what we need to have x, or the height of this triangle, be. So we're going to multiply 4 over 1 times 1 over 2/3, which we multiplied here, and that's the same as multiplying 4 over 1 times 5/3. And remember, when we're multiplying fractions, we just multiply across. 4 times 5 is 20, and 1 times 3 is 3. This is an improper fraction, and it is 6 2/3. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18. You have 2 left over, so that's why we have 6 2/3. 3 goes into 26 times with the remainder of 2. And so x is going to be 6 2/3.
And now you can see there's a relationship. 3 to 5 is equivalent to 4 and 6 and 2/3. Kind of tricky. Yes, I think the fact that it was an improper fraction and not a nice round or whole number makes things a little more challenging. But if, for example, if I had a representation here and I made the numbers a little easier, okay, the base is 5, the height is 10, and let's say this is 10. Well, as you guys can see, 5 times 2 is 10, so then 10 times 2 is 20. Much easier, obviously, but because we had this relationship that was not nice and neat like this with the numbers, and we had fractions, it made things a lot tougher. Problem 20. I like seeing this because this was exactly what we were talking about up here. As you can see, we have a 90-degree angle. We have two unknown angles. You guys know this is a straight angle. A straight angle is 180 degrees. Okay? So obviously supplementary angles, two angles that equal 180, but we actually have three angles here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go x plus 90. Okay, obviously there's the x, here's the 90, here's the x. This x plus x is 2x. When we add the variables together, we get 2x plus 90 equals 180. What you then could do is take away 90 from both sides. Sorry, my writing with the scratch pad is a little funky, but you get the point. 2x equals 90, and guess what? If we divide both sides by 2, you can see that x is equal to 45. And if you plug in these numbers, you obviously say this angle is 45 degrees, this angle is 45 degrees. You know this is 180 degrees. So 45 and 45 is 90, 90 and 90 is 180. And guess what? There you go. You could do the plug and play. You could say, okay, I know this is a 180-degree angle. I'm going to plug in 30. That's 30, and 90, that's 120, and another 30 is 150. That's not going to work. So none of these choices, A, B, and D, would work if you use that strategy and you didn't just try to solve the problem without looking at the answers first. So guys, once again, we had 7 students last trimester pass the first district math assessment. That was more than any other class. Frankly, it was half of the 7th grade students who were proficient came out of the second period class. So I have faith that all the dedication that you guys put forth throughout winter break and all the practice and the test prep is going to really pay off. So once again, we're promising students who are proficient with the district math assessment will receive a B and A regardless of their grade. Frankly, if you're proficient with the district math assessment, then you should receive a high grade in math as well. Okay, well, thank you once again, and continue that test prep, practicing the IXL and Khan Academy concepts. Have a wonderful day, guys.